Hey guys, how are you doing today? I hope that you're doing amazing and fantastic and wonderful. So today's video are some autumnal books that are getting me into the mood for fall. I am super excited. There's just something about these books that make me think of fall and that are on my TBR that I still have not read. So go get yourself something to eat or drink and let's dive into these 10 books that I am super stoked to read, or hopefully read, this fall. The very first one I have is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. So I read Recursion by Blake Crouch. I think it was this past summer. I know it was last year, and I had mixed feelings about it, but this sounds like so good. Okay, so here's the setup for Dark Matter. In this world he's woken up to, Jason's life is not the one he knows. His wife is not his wife, his son was never born, and Jason is not an ordinary college physics professor, but a celebrated genius who has achieved something remarkable, something impossible. Is it this world or the other that's a dream? Like, that's one of my biggest fears in the whole entire world is, like, what if I went back and changed one thing, then I wouldn't have met my husband or have had my child. Like, that actually really freaks me out. So I don't know why I'm so excited about reading this book, but I 100% am. And like, it's gonna throw me for a loop. Like, just bad. It's gonna throw me for a loop. Okay, so one of my goals is to read all of the books that Ellie Adams has ever written. And so I read A Killer Collection earlier this month, and then I have on my list to read book 1 in the Supper Club mystery series, Carbs and Cadavers. It looks super fantastic. It says, meet the Supper Club, a group of friends dead set on counting calories and catching killers. Like, that just sounds fantastic. I mean, also, I'm not like the biggest fan on counting calories, but I know that it's gonna be so much more than dieting. The next book I have is Death in Castle Dark, and you've got like the stormy clouds on the cover, and this is the first book in a dinner and a murder mystery series. Actor Nora Blake finds her dream job when she is cast in a murder mystery troupe that performs in an imposing but captivating old castle. When she stumbles upon a real murder, things take a nightmarish turn in this first book. That just sounds so cool. I love it, I love it, I love it. We also have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which I have had for quite a long time. This is by Holly Jackson. It is the first book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. There are 3 books in the series so far, but it says everyone in Fairview knows the story. Pretty and popular high school senior Andy Bell was murdered by her boyfriend, Saul Singh, who then killed himself. It was all anyone could talk about. And 5 years later, Pip sees how the tragedy still haunts her town. But she can't shake the feeling that there's more to what happened that day. She knew Sal when she was a child, and he was always kind to her. How could he possibly have been a killer? Now a senior herself, Pip decides to re-examine the closed case for her final project, at first just to cast doubt on the original investigation. But soon she discovers a trail of dark secrets that actually might prove Sal innocent. And I know that she does it through like a podcast kind of form, which is super cool. I love that. The next book I have is Southern Discomfort, and this is by Carolyn Fardig, and it's the Southern B&B mystery series. We've got a black cat on the cover and a pumpkin and like a creepy like mansion in the back, but it says Quinn Bellanadini, I think that's how you say it, loves her life in Savannah, Georgia, where she runs her grandfather's B&B with her sister Delilah. From baking fresh scones, and serving up grits every morning to ensure guests see the best of their historic city, Quinn can't imagine doing anything else, even if it means dealing with nuisances like the occasional malfunctioning commode. But when Quinn drops by the local restaurant owned by her friend Drew Green and stumbles upon a murder, her whole world comes crashing down. Bum, bum, bum. I'm just very much into the aesthetics of like the dark and stormy kind of like cover lately. The next book I have is the Sherlock Holmes Bookshop series, and I really want to read Elementary She Read. This is by Vicky Delaney. It says Gemma Doyle, a transplanted English woman, has returned to the quaint town of West London on Cape Cod to manage her great Uncle Arthur's Sherlock Holmes Bookshop and Emporium. The shop, located at 222 Baker Street, specializes in Holmes canon and is also home to Moriarty the cat. When Gemma finds a rare and potentially valuable magazine containing the first Sherlock Holmes story hidden in the bookshop, she and her friend Jane, who runs the adjoining Mrs. Hudson's tea room, I love it, sets off to find the owner, only to stumble upon a dead body. Bum, bum, bum. I love anything Sherlock Holmes. The next book we have is 15 Minutes of Flame by Kristen Breacher, and I really love this series. It's the Nantucket Candlemaker series, and this just, it also screams fall vibes. When Stella's friend inherits a creaky abandoned home in Nantucket, she knows it's the perfect setting for the town's Halloween fundraiser. A deserted, boarded-up building on the property, once used as a candle-making shop, adds to the creepy ambiance. But as Stella explores the shack's dilapidated walls, she discovers a terrible secret. The skeleton of a Quaker woman wrapped in blood-soaked clothing and hidden deep within a stone hearth. While police investigate, Stella wastes no time asking for help from friends with long ties to Nantucket's intricate history. Ugh. That looks so good. The next book I have is Murders and Metaphors by Amanda Flower. This is the third book in the Bake Shop mystery series, or the Magical Bookshop mystery series by Amanda Flower. It says, January means ice wine season in the Niagara Falls region, but the festivities leave charming books owner Violet Waverly cold, still reeling from a past heartbreak who will be present at the annual Midnight Grape Harvest Festival, and no magic in the world or incantation powerful enough could get Violet to attend. But Grandma Daisy, an omniscient force all on her own, informs Violet that she's already arranged for the mystical charming books to host the celebrity sommelier Belinda Perkins book signing at the party. Little do either Waverly women know, the Ice Wine Festival will turn colder still when Violet finds Belinda in the middle of the frozen vineyard with a grape harvest knife protruding from her chest. Ooh. I love their relationship with each other. They are just fantastic. The next book that I have is one that my husband has been trying to get me to read forever. And he actually purchased me all of the books on Kindle, so I don't actually have a reason not to read it. But it's the Mistborn series, The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. It says, for 1,000 years ash fell and no flowers bloomed. For 1,000 years the Ska slaved in misery and lived in fear. For 1,000 years the Lord Ruler, the Silver of Infinity, reigned with absolute power and ultimate terror, divinely invincible. Then, when hope was so long lost that not even its memory remained, a terribly scarred, heartbroken half-Ska rediscovered it in the depths of the Lord Ruler's most hellish prison. Kelsier snapped and found himself the powers of a Mistborn. A brilliant thief and natural leader, he turns his talents to the ultimate caper, with the Lord Ruler himself as the mark. This is supposed to be an absolutely fantastic, wonderful fantasy series. And since I'm still waiting on Patrick Rothfuss to finish the Kingkiller Chronicles, I guess this is what I have to read until then. And then last but certainly not least is actually it's like a horror book. It's Final Girls by Riley Sager. It says 10 years ago, 6 friends went on vacation, but only one made it out alive. In that instant, college students Quincy Carpenter became a member of a very exclusive club, a group of survivors the press dubbed the Final Girls. Lisa lost 9 sorority sisters to a college dropout's knife. Sam, who endured the sack man during her shift at the Night Light Inn. And now Quincy, who ran bleeding through the woods to escape the massacre at Pine Cottage. Despite the media's attempts, the 3 girls have never met. Ooh. So those are some autumnal reads that I'm super excited about to get to this fall. What are some books that you're super excited about getting to? Let me know down below. But that's the end of this chapter of Courtagonist. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, guys, happy reading. Bye.